All right, it's your boy Dave the Wave. We're going to be talking today about boxing 2024, kind of a wish list, maybe some predictions. Um, First of all, my first my first pick for a match would be Zhang versus Wilder. I really like that fight. I think that should get made. I don't think Wilder has a whole lot of life left in him. I don't think he's got any more, or he's got very few big fights left in him. Let it be against a southpaw bomber. That would be exciting. And I think at this point in Wilder's career, uh, Wilder could lose. I think that Zhang would beat him, could beat him. I don't. I'm not saying that he would. I'm saying that's my number one wish list pick for this year that I would like to see. I would love to see that fight. Um, Next is Canelo versus Crawford. If that happens, Crawford needs to stay busy. Crawford, I guess it's Errol's fault, Spence's fault, but still, Crawford needs to stay in the mix. He needs to stay busy. Now he does that. He should move up and fight Canelo. Canelo should take the fight because on paper he should win. I think that that's a winnable fight for Crawford. I like Crawford in that fight. I think he's got the skills and the youth and the energy to do it. I think that Canelo's on the slide and he's ripe to be taken. And I think that Crawford's the guy to do it. If that doesn't happen, Crawford should fight Charlo, and beat him up. That's been a long time coming. They've talked shit back and forth for a while, so that would be a wish list fight too. But Crawford needs to stay busy. That's just the bottom line. Ooh, this is another one. Uh, I don't know if this is ever going to get made, but Daniel Dubois, who I've become more of a fan of in his defeats than from before. But anyway, Dubois versus Joe Joyce. Doing that rematch would be real big. I think that's winnable for him. I think that he would actually beat Joe Joyce in the rematch. Uh, I saw the first fight. I was never impressed with either guy. I know there was a lot of hype surrounding both, but I was never a fan and never really impressed with either guy. And it turns out Joyce whipped him the first time, and I think it would be different this time. I think Dubois is bright, and I think he's adaptable, and I think he's learning a great deal from his losses. We'll see if Joe Joyce can do that, but I doubt it. Joe Joyce is so slow, and he's been exposed for what I thought he was. Just a slow, unimpressive heavyweight. He's got power, but anybody that's 270 pounds is going to have power. I've never been that impressed with him. So anyway, I stick to the outline here. Going to the lighter weights, I really like these guys. All of the mix with Tank and Tio and Haney and Ryan Garcia and all this shit. I've been talking about this for years, as you have, I'm sure, as boxing fans. Uh, but I saw my wish list for Stevenson is that he fights anyone. Just fight someone. Stop being a baby. Stop throwing temper tantrums and retiring. It's like being on going on Facebook and saying, "I'm never coming on here again," and just for the attention. You know you'll be back. You know you're coming back. You're just looking for the attention. See who cares. Nobody really cares, Stevenson. If you go away right now, no one will really miss you because you haven't done anything. You need to do more. You need to stay busy, and you need to start taking some fights, even that are beneath you in your opinion. So my wish list for Stevenson is just get busy and fucking fight a live body for the love of God. I see my wish for Ennis, who's another big major shit talker, was fight somebody, but I guess the news I saw today was that he's going to fight Mario Barrios, and that's a tough fight. That's a top guy, and he's a tough guy, but that's a guy that is exactly tailor made to lose to a guy like Ennis, who's a sharp mover. Uh, but so that's Ennis is going to win that fight, and that's the perfect fight to build him up. Um, he hasn't been fighting. All he wants to do is have the biggest fights without earning his way to the spot, just like Stevenson. But so now, yeah, so good for Ennis. He actually is fighting a live body because Mario Barrios is going to be there to fucking win. He's probably not, but God love him. At least he's a fighter. He's going to take fights, and whatever the result, he's going to take it. He's going to do it. He's a man. Now, I also just saw that Haney versus Ryan Garcia is on for April 20th. If that's the case, so be it. I like both. Actually, I don't like both guys. I don't like Haney. I like Haney. His skill, I can respect him. And actually, Haney, I think he's the best of all of them. I think he beats Garcia. I think this was a dumb fucking fight for Ryan Garcia to take. He's going to beat Ryan Garcia. He's going to whip his ass and either stop him late or just whip his ass and take an easy decision. He's going to whip that fool's ass. And I think Haney beats Tank the same way. I think Haney's too long and strong, and he's too good at using his length and his distance. He's a great ring general. He's a great boxer. You got to give him that. But I don't give him a pass for being a racist, so fuck him. But I think he beats all of them. I think he's the best of all of them, as racist as he wants to be. A big one I would love to see. I mean, I know Teo. I wanted to make this video before that Teo fight, but it makes it less relevant. Because I thought that Teo would steamroll this guy, but he looked ordinary. I think Teo versus any of these guys would be fun. Teo versus Haney or Ryan or Raleigh or any of them. But I think that him versus Tank would be so much fun. And I think he can hurt Tank. And I think Tank can hurt him. And I think Tank would get there first, and I think it would be super fun while it lasted. It'd probably last about 3 or 4 rounds. And then somebody get caught. Probably Tank. He's shown that he's more durable. He's more resilient. I've never seen Tank get knocked down. Never heard of him getting knocked down. That doesn't mean that he can't be knocked down, but Teo can be shook, and he can be taken out of his comfort zone real quick, especially when he feels embarrassed. And I think that's what Tank would do to him, just embarrass him. But this is my favorite. So the fact that I saw the Haney versus Ryan just got made today, that's kind of it's a bummer, because where's Ryan going to go after this loss? He's basically going to be Raleigh Romero status. He doesn't have anywhere to go. He's going to be always trying to talk his way into big fights, and when he finally gets them, he's going to lose. Just like Romero. At least so far. I think Romero, I like what I see from that kid. He's one of my favorite guys, just because he talks shit and he backs it up. He's willing to get in there fucking with anybody. And he's crazy, and he's funny, and he's silly, and he knows that. And he knows people like that. So I like him, and I wish him all the best. And I think that him versus Ryan, dude, because they're both in the same boat. They're both, by the time April 20th evening rolls around, Ryan will be another loss deeper into his retirement plans. Is very soon he's going to be relegated to being Raleigh Romero status, and that is just talking his way around. I don't think he's going to do much in boxing. I had high hopes for him about 2-3 years ago, honestly, but that's over. Uh, but him versus Romero would be right up there with the Wilder versus Zhang. That would be my number one wish for this year, would be to see Raleigh Romero versus Ryan Garcia, because I think either guy could win that fight. And right now, based on Ryan's last performance, I think Riley'd probably beat him. Riley hits harder, I think, and Riley's definitely more game. He's a tough kid, and he wants to fight. He wants to hurt somebody. It's funny. But anyway, so you can put all those kids in a blender and come up with all kinds of good fights. You know what I mean? They're gonna make good fights. It's just they got to start fighting each other. They got to get out of. They got to stop listening to the people that are around them that are giving them all the advice. They need to just fucking fight, guys, and quit squabbling over the last little bits of money. It's not about that. Money will come. So anyway, this has been Are You Serious Podcast. If you like what we're doing, like, subscribe, watch again, tell your mama. This is Dave. We'll sign out here. Bye.